Hello everybody, welcome back to the Body Coach YouTube channel. My name is Lucy and I'm going to be taking you through a 15-minute yoga flow today. So in today's class, we're going to be working with some embodied yoga. So what that means is as we move through some of the poses, we're going to be finding a little bit more freedom in some of the poses. So this means that it's up to you to move into different places. We might be moving in slightly different ways, and that's okay. I just want you to start to find freedom in these poses and start to feel what feels good in your body as we move through them. So let's start in a nice seated position, relaxing through the shoulders, closing down the eyes for a moment. And as always, we're going to start with the breath. So let's slowly begin to bring your awareness to the breath, noticing if it's moving in and out through the belly or if it's moving in and out through the chest, maybe both. Maybe noticing if it feels smooth, if it feels bumpy, if it feels deep or shallow. And we're going to start to deepen the breath. So let's place one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. As you take a nice big breath in, let's breathe into the belly, all the way up into the chest, and then exhale nice and softly. Let's take one more when you're ready. Nice big deep breath in, all the way up into the chest, and a slow soft breath out. And just allow your breath to return back to a natural pace. You can even drop your hands down onto your legs and just start to feel that motion of the breath as it moves in and out through the body. Now from the seated position, we're going to start to bring in a little bit of free movement here. So that might mean swaying from side to side. It might mean swaying forwards and back. It might even mean going around in circles. And just notice how that feels, just moving the spine around. You can keep your eyes closed. Don't worry too much about what this looks like. Just gently moving into those spaces. Maybe you're moving in a figure of 8, maybe a slightly different direction. So just starting to move the spine around. Good, make sure we're not going in one direction, so make sure you keep switching it up, moving from side to side or around in circles. Then let's see if you can get the hips involved too. So instead of just circling the spine, can we start to tilt the pelvis? Maybe tilting it forward, tilting it back. It's rolling from side to side. Good, lovely. Now from there, we're going to keep this movement, but I want you to start to get the shoulders involved. So that might mean something completely different to you than what it does to me. Maybe it means lifting your shoulders up to your ears and rolling them back. Maybe it means lifting the shoulders as you move from side to side, or rounding them as you come forwards, and then lifting them as you come back. So whatever that means for you, just slowly moving into that space. Good. And we might even start to get the head involved too. So maybe starting to roll the head around in circles. There might be semicircles, full circles. You might just be swaying it from side to side or turning it from side to side. Whatever feels good in your body. So just moving into those spaces. Now I want you to begin to sync this movement with your breath. So all that means is moving at the same pace as your breath. So we're all going to be breathing at slightly different paces. But every time you inhale, can you move one way? Every time you exhale, can you move another? Good. And again, still getting the shoulders, the spine, the hips, and the neck involved. Good. Lovely. And then when you're ready, we're slowly going to find our way back to stillness. So just gently float your way back to the center of the spine, feeling the spine nice and straight, and just noticing how it feels to be still for a moment after that movement. Let's take a big breath in and out. Now slowly opening the eyes with a nice soft gaze. As you inhale, we're going to reach both arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Now we're going to warm up the arms. So again, we're going to take a little bit of free movement. So maybe we're reaching the arms up to the sky. Maybe we're bending from side to side, opening out the arms. Maybe we're circling them backwards. Whatever feels good, just move into that space. Again, see if you can keep your eyes closed. So finding that free movement. You might even begin to roll the chest, lifting the arms. Anything that feels good in your body, rolling around. Good, nice. Lovely. Let's take one more movement, one more round of the movement, whatever movement you've chosen to take. Good. And then slowly come back to the center. Well done. Let's roll over into your tabletop position. So hands on the floor. Now we're going to take that same sort of movement with our cats and cows. So instead of taking linear cats and cows moving up and down, we can start with these And then we're going to start to move the spine in different ways. So maybe rolling the spine around in circles, adding a little bit of free movement here. You might even roll it from side to side. Good. Noticing how it feels. How does it feel to get the shoulders involved? Moving around in circles, maybe even the hips involved too. You might even start to move the entire body forwards and back towards a child's pose, or maybe forwards into a bit of a back bend, whatever feels good in your body. So just finding that movement that feels good for you. It might look completely different to what I'm doing, and that's okay. This is your time to find that free movement, rolling around in your body. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath, whatever kind of movement you've chosen to take. Good. Lovely. And then slowly coming back to the center. We're going to sit the hips back into a child's pose, forehead down towards the ground. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Beautiful. Let's look forward, slowly round all the way up into that tabletop position. We're going to tuck your toes and gently let's start to lift your hips into your downward facing dog. And again, we're going to add a little bit of that free movement in here. So you might even just stay still if it feels more comfortable to stay still in your downward dog. You might start to bend into one leg and then switch to the other side. You might start to take some little twists with the knees, some twists with the spine, whatever feels comfortable. So any little movements you need to take, maybe even take some waves leaning forwards into a plank and pressing back towards a down dog. So anything that your body needs here. Little movements, rolling around. And again, see if you can keep the eyes closed. So noticing how the body feels. Good, let's take 1 more round of movement here. Lovely, well done. Slowly finding your way back into your downward facing dog. Now we're going to walk your feet all the way up towards your hands at the top of the mat. Take a little bend in your knees, hold onto your elbows, and just take a little sway from side to side there. Now you can shake your head yes, shake your head no, releasing any tension in the neck, softening through the shoulders. Yeah, when you're ready, dropping your hands down, bend through the knees. Let's slowly roll all the way up to standing. Good. Now once we come up into that standing position, we're going to open your palms out forwards, lift your shoulders up towards the ears as you inhale. Exhale, roll them back down. Now take a moment here to close down the eyes. Can you lift up all 10 of your toes and see if you can place them down onto the ground one by one as they roll all the way down. And then take a little moment to lean forwards, lean back, finding the edges of the feet, noticing where you can feel those edges, rolling around in circles. Good. You might even start to move in a figure of 8 or side to side. And then again, just slowly begin to find your way back to the center. Can we start to zip up through the thighs? So squeezing the thighs, lifting the kneecaps up, zipping up through the inner legs. Can we find that little tuck of the pelvis, squeezing the glutes? Can we engage the core? Can we really open up the hands? So spreading through the fingers, starting to engage all of the arms, the forearms. Take a nice big breath in and out. When you're ready, as you inhale, let's slowly reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, let's slowly roll all the way down into a forward fold. As you inhale, come up halfway, nice flat back. Exhale, we're going to plant your hands down. Let's step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. So a nice big long step. Push into your front foot and slowly come up into your high lunge. Now again, we're going to find a little bit of movement here. So we're going to start by bending your back knee and just finding a little bit of buoyancy here in the legs, noticing how that feels. Now, how does it feel to keep your arms in the same position, but just slowly begin to move your legs around? So maybe straightening that front leg, leaning forwards, bending your back knee, leaning back. Whatever that means for you in this nice little linear pattern. Maybe we start to open up the chest from side to side. You might even begin to move the arms. So maybe the arms sweep forwards. Maybe they sweep up to the sky. Maybe they open out to the side, rolling around to the other side. Whatever that means for you. If you wobble, don't worry. We all wobble. It's good to wobble. Embrace them. Embrace that little feeling, but catching yourself before you fall. So moving in any way that feels good for you, just rolling those arms around. You might even begin to do a little backstroke here with the arms, whatever you feel like you need to do, reaching them forwards, opening out, good, but still finding that nice buoyancy in the legs, Maybe straightening the back leg as you lean forwards, maybe opening the chest as you lean back. Whatever that feels like in your body. And then slowly take one more round of this movement, moving through the arms, moving through the body. And then slowly come back into that high lunge. Good, don't worry if you wobble. Relaxing through the shoulders. Let's take a breath in. As you exhale, drop your back heel down, open up the arms into your warrior two. Now we're going to move between two poses here. Your side angle pose, so bringing your left arm down, right arm reaches up and over. And then your reverse warrior, so coming all the way up, keeping a nice big bend in that knee, but reaching that left arm up. So slowly beginning to move from side to side here. So just start to sync this movement to your breath, maybe inhaling as you lift into your reverse and exhaling as you come back into that side angle. Good, nice. Now if you want to, you can stick to this linear movement, or again, we can start to maybe move the legs around. Maybe you straighten your front leg, maybe you rebend it as you come up and over. Whatever you need to do, just finding that little flow here with your breath. Good, let's take one more round. And slowly come back. Beautiful. We're going to cut all those hands all the way down to the floor and just step it back into your down dog. From here, we're going to look forwards, come up onto your tiptoes, walk your feet up. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, we're going to fold all the way back down. This time your left leg is going to step all the way to the back of the mat. Inhale, let's sweep those arms up to the sky. So again, let's find that free movement here. So maybe you start with bouncing through the legs. Maybe we begin to get the arms involved. Leaning forwards, leaning back, opening up to the sides. Whatever you feel like you need to do here. Trying to keep that nice stable base. So any little movements, maybe the legs begin to straighten and then rebend, but you're just keeping your feet planted on the floor in that same position. We're just moving the rest of the body around. Rolling forwards, rolling up. Good. One more round of this movement, whatever movement you've chosen to take. Good. Lovely. Coming back into that high lunge. As you exhale, drop your back heel down, opening up into your warrior two. Now again, let's move between those two poses. So elbow onto your front thigh, left arm reaches up and over, and then slowly flipping it all the way over into your reverse. Good. Keep going with that movement. Now you might just stick to this movement, moving forwards and back, and that's okay if that feels better. Or you might begin to add a little bit of free movement. Maybe you roll the chest down. Maybe begin to straighten that front leg. Maybe you rebend it. Whatever that feels like for you, move into those spaces. Let's do one more round. One more round of breath. Good, lovely. And slowly come back to the center when you're ready. Beautiful. Let's cartwheel those hands all the way down to the floor. Step it back, down dog. Drop your knees. Child's pose. So just notice how we built a lot of heat in the body during those little movements, even though we were just staying in one pose. We were finding that freedom, noticing how it felt to be free in your body, and noticing how it feels to move into those spaces that feel good for you. So just taking a moment here, let's take 2 deep breaths in and out through the nose. Seeing if we can slow that breath right down. Allowing the shoulders to soften. Allowing the body to soften into the ground. One more breath in. One more breath out. Lovely. When you're ready, slowly look forwards. We're going to slowly come forwards into a nice seated position again. Slowly bringing yourself back. So that might be cross-legged, it might be completely different. Whatever feels good for you. Hands onto your legs, sit nice and tall in the spine. Notice how your body feels. If you still feel like you need to move into any little spaces, you're very welcome to take any little last minute movements there. And then slowly find your way back to the center. As you inhale, let's take both arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring those hands down in front of you. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring them down. Now take a moment there just to be grateful for your body for moving into all of those spaces. Notice if anything came up there. Sometimes it can be quite frustrating. Noticing if that happened, don't worry if that did. Just bringing yourself back to this moment now. Being grateful for your body, for yourself, for creating this time in your day to take this practice. Bow your head down towards your hands. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me in that beautiful flow. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. It's really fun to begin to express yourself in different ways, taking those movements in your own pace. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I will see you all again soon.